Hi, I'm Derek and welcome to this video lesson how you can learn the first Wilcoxon solo from the All-American Drummer book in 7 days. If you don't have this book, I would recommend to buy it, maybe also as a download, or I like it more as a physical book. And yeah, let's get started. So I would recommend to spend on each exercise I will give you, or each part or each day, 5 to maybe 15 or 20 minutes. It depends how far you are with the rudiments and with your technique. But when you do this, maybe for 10 or 15 minutes per day, then you will see and feel in progress. Also, I would recommend to use a metronome and, of course, a practice pad, a good pair of drumsticks, and yeah, let's get started. So, day 1 is the first 2 bars. So in the first line, bar 1 and 2, and in the first bar you have the flam tap. So this is the flam tap. So when you play the flam is an upstroke to prepare the next accent with the same hand. Okay? So I do it very slowly. Okay? Bring this up to speed. And for the beginning, it's enough to play in this tempo. The next bar is a flam paradiddle, and here you're playing a normal or standard flam and playing upstroke on the second stroke. So when you play a standard single paradiddle without a flam, then there's also an upstroke on every second beat from the 4-beat phrase. So here's the flam paradiddle. A little bit slower. Now bring this rudiment or this bar up to speed, and you have to be a little bit faster because you're playing 16th notes, and the first bar, so the flam tap, is in 8th notes. So we have to double the speed later. Okay, so here's the flam paradiddle a little bit faster. Okay, we take this tempo. Now let's play this with the metronome, and when you're starting with the rudiments and you're not that fast, then I would recommend to set the metronome on 8th notes, not on quarter notes, because then you have some more orientation given from the metronomes. So we figure out the tempo. It's maybe like so I've put the metronome on 70 beats per minute, and in this case it means that you have 70, but the metronome gives you 8th notes. Okay, so this is bar 1 and 2 combined in a loop in this tempo. 8th notes equals 70. Okay. For some people maybe this is too fast, but just set your metronome to a slower tempo and try to repeat these 2 bars or this combination over and over again. Set yourself a timer on the metronome or your mobile phone, maybe for 5 minutes. Pay attention to the motions. So on the first bar, again, you have upstrokes in the flams, and in the second bar, you have upstrokes on every second stroke of each 4-note grouping of the paradiddle. Okay, so see you on the next day. So welcome to day number 2. And today we are doing bar number 3 and 4. And this is bar number 3. It's a rhythmical variation of the rudiment called flam accent. And I will play it for you and then I will explain it. So here it is. Okay, so we have an accent with a flam, and on the second stroke or the middle stroke on each figure, you're doing an upstroke to prepare the next accent. So it's flam, upstroke, and a tap. Then with the left hand, flam, upstroke, tap. Play this over and over again. And bar number 3 is kind of opposite. So you're starting with an upstroke to prepare the accent on the third beat. Sounds and looks like this. And now we are combining both bars as we did on the first day. Okay, but there is a small change in the motions, and I will play it for you and then I will explain. So you play only the upstroke in the second or bar number 4 on the second bar of this figure, and leaving out the upstroke before because we are now creating a different loop. And when you repeat the whole phrase, then you have an upstroke flam with the accents. Okay, so it sounds a little bit difficult, but just watch again. I will play it slower and then I think you will understand. So it's and again, bring these 2 bars up to speed. And we had 70 beats per minute, or 8 notes equals 7 for bar number 1 and 2. And let's try it with these 2 bars. Practice this over and over again for at least 5 minutes. Okay? So see you tomorrow at day 3. Okay, so welcome to day number 3, and now we are playing all 4 bars. Okay, so the whole first line. And let's see if we can play it at 70 beats per minute. Let's try this. So this is the whole first line. If this is too fast in the beginning, then maybe you put off the metronome or put it on a slower tempo and just try to play the rhythms correctly and also the motions, okay? I will play it a little bit slower without the metronome that you can watch and observe. Play this over and over again with the metronome, without the metronome, slower, faster, whatever you like. And yeah, see you then the next day to day number 4. So welcome to day number 4. And today we are doing the first bar from the second line. And for most of the students, and back then for me, is this bar because you're playing here a difficult rudiment. It's called the flamacue. I will play it for you again and then explain it. Again. So the go note of the flamacue is the right accent with the flam, okay? There are 2 more strokes, so left left with the flam in the same bar at the end of the bar, but this is an upbeat for the next bar, okay? So again, the flamacue. It's very important when you play the flam in the beginning that you play an upstroke to prepare the left hand accent. Sounds like this. You have to play this motion with a lot of speed. Then after the left hand accent, you're playing an upstroke with your right hand to prepare the goal note of this rudiment. Okay, so it looks like this. Upstroke. Again. Practice this over and over again. When you want to go on with this bar, then you're playing at the end of the bar a flam tap, but without an accent. And the goal note would be, then it's better for me to practice, the goal note would be the flam or the one of the next bar. So the first bar of the second line sounds like this. Okay, again. One more time. And today we are also doing the last bar of the second line, because the second and the third bar of this line you have practiced before in the first line. So it's the same thing. It's a flam tap and a flam paradiddle. So in the last bar of the second line you're playing alternating flams, but with accents. And in the beginning I would recommend to play alternating flams at different volume levels, okay? So also without the metronome. So you're starting in a higher level and then switching to lower and switch between the different dynamic levels, okay? So this is the exercise for this bar. I'm just switching randomly between different dynamic levels. But here, when you play it how it's written, then you have to play an accent on the first and last beat of the bar. also bring this bar a little bit up to speed. Okay, so see you tomorrow to the next step. So welcome to day number 5, and today we are playing the first and second line together. I will start to play without the metronome at a slower tempo, and then I will play it again at eighth notes equal 70 as we did with the first bars. Okay, so this is the first 2 lines. And again the 1. So here again the first and second line at 70 beats per minute, or eighth notes equal 70. So when you have problems switching from the first to the second line because you're playing this flamme after the first line or after ending the first line, then just pick out this transition between these 2 lines, okay? So that you play the last bar maybe of the first line, and then try to find your starting position for the flamme. Again, last bar of the first line. You can practice it like this, without the metronome. Just try to understand how the motions are working and think ahead what will happen next, and so on and on. And after a while you will feel comfortable with this transition between the 2 lines or the switch, and then you can combine it and play both lines together. So this is day number 5, and if you have come that far, that's a great goal you achieved. So let's meet tomorrow at day number 6. Welcome to day number 6, and in this lesson, or in this part of this video, we are doing the whole second part. And the whole second part is not very hard to play technically, but you have to be careful where you play the accents and what stickings you are playing. So there are only a few flammes in it, so the rest is only 16th notes and some accents, and be careful with the stickings. I will divide this part in a few sections. So the first bar is just a single stroke roll with an accent starting with a flamme, then followed by a paradiddle. And now there's a little trap. You have to be careful because you're now playing a triple paradiddle, and the last part of the third line is again a triple paradiddle but with a different accent. Okay, so you're playing again. So now I'm doing a lot of full strokes and downstroke, tap stroke, upstrokes. When you're not familiar with these strokes, then check out my other video where I explain the full down tap upstrokes. And if you cannot do this, to play this way, then just play how you feel comfortable. For example, maybe like this. okay? But when you want to do this full down tap up thing, then it looks like this. And then landing on the one of the last line. Line number 4 starts again with a bar of single strokes, but here without the flam. Then again a single paradiddle. And then bar of single strokes, but with a different accent pattern. And then landing on the last bar, so 3 flams in a row. So the whole part looks like this. Now we're trying this part with the metronome. And maybe you know what day 7 looks like, okay? Let's see you tomorrow. Bye! So welcome to day number 7, and today we are playing the whole solo. And when you can play the whole solo, then I would recommend to play the whole structure as it's written, okay? And in this solo, the first and second line is repeated, and the third and fourth line is repeated. And this is the structure. Now I would recommend to practice the whole solo in one tempo and increasing the speed just step by step, okay? So now I will play the whole solo for you, but a little bit faster. My metronome setting is 100 beats per minute, or 8th notes equals 100, and let's see how it sounds and looks like. So this is the whole solo. So when you have come that far playing tempo 100, then I would recommend to halve the speed of the metronome, so you have really quarter notes now, and you're starting with tempo 50. And then after a while, when you feel more and more comfortable, then increase the tempo step by step. Yeah? You can download a tempo list on my website, so tempo sheet or metronome list, where you have different steps you can work, or you are doing your own steps, okay? So when you feel that you improved a lot, then you just raise the speed or the maximum speed and just work on it, okay? So I hope you liked this video and you have learned the first solo from Charles Wilcoxon from this great book, All American Drummer, and this is a very old version. I think the new version has more colors here on the cover page. Yeah, let me know how it worked for you, and write me here in the comments what you think about, and see you next time. Goodbye.